What up? What up?
What up? What up? What up? It's the tight end boys.
We still here.
We're here.
We are indeed still here.
AKA Brooklyn Lebowski. Doing our thing right now. Poppin'. So, guys, what's up?
What's going on? We are killing Fado right now. That's what's up.
Yeah.
Gee, what up, baby?
What's going on, Chris?
It's incredible what Zeke did today.
As a 49ers fan, I probably could have told you it was going to happen, but I guess I'm happy for it.
Oh, you didn't have to be a 49ers fan to see that shit coming.
Dude, the Niners haven't won a game this season, have they?
Yeah, but we, I think, lost by like under 3 points, like 5 games in a row. So
I got Hyde, baby. He keeps every week, dude. He keeps producing. They haven't won a game, but he keeps producing.
Oh yeah, he's a good player. He's a very good player.
yeah, they're definitely not going to re-sign him. So I wonder where he's going to be because there's literally zero chance. I mean, if you're cutting Bowman, you are not re-signing Carlos Hyde.
This matchup you guys have with Fado just shows to show you do not judge, do not call anything on a Thursday night because with the Marshawn Lynch suspension or a kick throw out of the game, ejection, whatever you call it, like you're thinking, man, we're behind the 8 ball here, but you just never know.
Dude, we're tied right now. You know that?
You're tied right down the.
Right now, on point projections, I'm tied.
You're tied with.
I'm so tied with her.
Chris is closely watching the matchup with Sassy right now, and
she's got 3 guys tomorrow. That's the problem.
Actions are showing them as like a dead even
50-50
point total. Yeah,
I was like,
it's gonna come down to the wire, bro.
Is what's his name on Washington coming back, Tete?
Who?
Norman?
Not this week.
Not this week.
Definitely not this week.
So, Sean Jeffrey could go off.
So can Nelson Aguilar.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, none of them have really stood out. Not Jeffrey, not the other guy.
Aguilar's been decent though.
Yeah, Aguilar's been okay, but Jeffrey's been a disappointment so far.
So, guys, I think we'll if we're cool with the format, I think we're gonna go with for this episode 4. I'm taking on 2 roles here. I'm trying to be 2 people at once. Fado is on a date with wifey right now, so it's gonna miss out on this.
Damn, no Fado.
No Fado. At that time.
Yeah, man. You saw the beatdown happening, Tete, and he was like, "Nah, I'm out."
That's what it
I'm
was.
not gonna deal with this.
Sunday. People do the with the whip on a Sunday. Think about it. That's what Fridays and Saturdays are for.
Exactly.
Yeah. I can't comment on that, but
It's too bad. It's just too bad.
He's MIA, and yeah. What can we do? We gotta move on. We gotta move forward. Next man up, as we say. So
Next man up. Indeed.
He's probably going to be a silent co-host because he's really wrapped attention on this matchup with Sassy Steelheads right now. He's trying to see if he can get a guy to go over there with a pipe wrench to hit Tevin Coleman right now.
No, I'm waiting for Brady, man. That's what I'm waiting for. If I get a second chance, he's going down.
Yeah.
Him with Belichick.
But yeah, guys, I want to do the interview with you guys, and hopefully also get into in the midst of the interview, definitely get into some of the drama, some of the intrigue, and the behind the scenes look at who are the TE boys.
Who are the TE boys? I think I should definitely set this off because my intro to the league is through you, Rashid. And my favorite part of this podcast is when people get do the biography narrative about how they came into the league, how they know people, and what it means to them. So I'm just gonna hit people with that real quick. So I think a year back or 2 years back, a mutual friend of ours, Sam, hit me up, and he's like, I'm in this league, I'm in this fantasy league with Rashid, and I'm always losing. And Sam offered to pay me to run his team. And I was like, oh, shit. Nobody, this is a little nugget that no one knew. He offered to pay me to run his team. He's like, I'll pay you on a weekly basis if you win the matchup. And I'm like, yo, fantasy doesn't work that way, and I don't have the time. And so, I guess Sam just got tired of losing and giving you guys $100 every year. And so he dropped out, and Rashid was like, T, do you want to play? And I was like, I'm not sure. And then I know Steve we play soccer together, Brooklyn super friends. And, we're always just talking about just like different things in fantasy. And Steve is telling me that he's a fantasy killer. He makes like $1,000 a year from it. And I was like, all right, I'll do this thing if this guy Steve does it with me, because he sounds like he knows everything. And we can split the duties and just rape you guys. And so that is a little background, my background for how I got into We Still Here.
And I guess the only tidbit of the connection that's not there too is that I met Tete on the soccer team because Sean is on the soccer team.
Oh yeah. Yep.
And, exactly. And I know Sean through my work with the worker cooperative world. So a little bit through kind of work and our friend Ethan Earl, who I think is in your baseball league as well.
Yeah, man, definitely.
So I used to work, I consult for the nonprofit, The Working World, that Ethan used to work at for many years.
That's what's up. Yeah. Ethan on the league this year, going away.
I bet him $20 that he wouldn't make it to playoffs, which was a terrible bet. I never even saw your league. I just was talking shit to him. So believe me, I know.
And it's a pretty amazing league. That league. It's called Randy Levine is the Devil. It's shout out to all my Randy Levine is the Devil worshippers out there. It's been going, I think, for double digit, like probably 15 years, something.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Most of those guys know each other from like a Jewish commie camp that they all went to back in the day. Sean and Ethan and Tony and Gus.
Oh, the one that you try to plot in white. Right?
Yeah.
The one that you're trying to plot on the side. Hopefully the sound doesn't look.
Anyway, yeah. So Steve, you're $1,000 killer. I'm hearing now from T. Man.
I have a couple leagues. I have one league that I'm in 4 leagues. So if I take down 1 and 2 and just 2 of them for the year, I generally come out okay. I mean, you can't play any daily over here in New York anymore, can we?
No, I think it's banned, actually.
Not yet.
You said not yet?
You just need the right cell phone number and GPS coordinates.
Probably a pin.
Yeah, you guys are new in the league last year. Came in as an expansion team. Not common for an expansion team to do. You actually made it all the way to the final. Up against Sean, David Wilson's ghost. And I don't remember Do you guys have any recollection of like that matchup and how it all went down for you guys for the
Yeah,
championship?
there's a really easy answer. It's that fucking Adam Thielen went off.
Steven Thielen. That's what happened.
Yeah, Thielen. I think he had like, what was it, 30 points or
Wow,
something?
they're destroying them.
Yeah, well, actually close. So like, Sean got like 200 plus points, and we were like 40 behind going into the last game, and we had Zeke and someone else, and I think Zeke got like 30 points in the first half of like that last game, and we were like one touchdown away, and the Cowboys like sat Zeke for the second half, so there was a little drama in that matchup. Yeah, but Thielen had like 49 points or something, which is absurd.
Wow.
You know, I will say though, Tete, that yes, it was a little bit of a dramatic matchup, but you know, we had already gone through the gauntlet in terms of, I think, beating Fadil and beating what was his name, Bob, make America great again.
Yeah, we had multiple like playoff scenarios. Like we had to play off to get in the playoffs. Then I think we faced Rashid, and then we beat Fado. So we had like just 3 do or die matchups.
By that point, we had already we were celebrating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll have to take it home this year, though.
And so, guys, let's clear the air on. I think Steve's muted.
Oh, sorry, I'm here.
Let's clear the air on my faux pas with my kicker in our matchup in the playoff, where I had thought that I had gotten my kicker the night before, got in my kicker, and lo and behold, the next day I see that like I don't have a kicker that I can start in our matchup, and I'm like, oh no, and so I was like, all right, you know what? I'm gonna put a kicker in here, Commissioner Power, to pull a little behind the scenes Wizard of Oz trick on everybody here. Wiser. But Steve is watching the transaction page like a hawk, like a guy in an assassin's tower watching it.
Not even watching the transactions page. I just had seen your kicker start off your bench, and I saw it lock in, and then I looked back and it was in your team.
It was like, what's going on?
Definitely a low point for me in my my fantasy career. But unlike some people, what I will say
it was
about this,
fortunate enough that we just crushed you, so it didn't have to be.
It had no consequence. And what I ultimately did, so I was wrong, and I admitted that I was wrong, and so I ended up benching the kicker that I had, illegally inserted into my lineup, and apologize to the league. And I will say this, that is not how. There was a lot of other grime that went down, especially with the whole bribery thing. That is not how others handled it when they were caught red-handed doing some dirt. I admit to my wrongs. I will say that.
It was.
So I want to. Yeah.
Ooh, no. What were you gonna say?
Yeah. I wanted to ask you guys have a rivalry in the league. Like, if there's just one team that like beating them means a little bit more to you, which team would that be?
So I will say that last year it was definitely Bob that drove me up the wall. We could not handle the Make America Great Again and the whole personality as a whole. But Tete, who would you say it is this year?
Oh man, we definitely have to go with Fido for sure.
That's probably a good answer.
I don't know what it is, but something about our matchup just brings the best out of both of us. And It looks like we're going to be undefeated against him, which makes it even better. Yeah, I don't know what it is. He's like, yeah, I just don't know what it is.
We get real fired up during the week.
Yeah. No, we got to say this. The saga that is the TE Boys or Dawn of August now versus the Natty, especially to the trade that you guys and I had sealed transaction involving Sammy Watkins and Latavius Murray and a draft pick, that got inserted into it because there was such an uproar against it. And I will say, like, we are all, I think, on the same page about what we think about trades getting vetoed. In that, I don't think a trade should be vetoed.
Yeah, we are. That
I would say we're all on the same page as far as trades not being vetoed unless there's clearly some wrongdoing, some collusion going on, or some sort of extenuating circumstance. Like what happened with, what was it, Andrew, where more recently with Fottle, where he was trying to like send some sort of ridiculous trade offer to you guys, and accidentally was sending you guys, what was it, 3rd, 4th, and 5th round pick for your 17th, 18th, and 19th pick.
Yeah, that's right.
And of course, you guys accepted it.
right.
Who wouldn't? And that got rejected because it was a mistake. And then Andrew was driving while trading. WT.
Yeah.
And I think that one I think went through. And
that should, that was he has to protect his players as a general manager of his fantasy team, as is reasonable. But I mean that, those things are much more wild. But the trade that we made last year was really something else, and I think we're on the same page in that we both thought that we were improving our teams. Right.
Exactly.
And for somebody else to come and impress their judgment and assign on top of that, like, oh, you have to add X amount of value. That's a pick that we approve.
0 cents. It makes 0 sense. And like, it just, I think that whole thing definitely really fueled us for the playoff run last year. And it just makes no sense. Like, no, like it's like self-interested adults playing this game. Like, no one needs like some outside person saying, "Okay, this is what you need in a trade." Like,
yeah, exactly. And then all the personal, getting personal with the insults and stuff. There's just no need for that. And how it ended, it didn't really end there, right? Because what ended up happening was we went ahead, and because the league had gotten, vetoed the initial trade, I came to you guys and I was like, listen, it seems like if we want this thing to go through, we need to include a pick. So we included your guys' 3rd round pick, which is really a 6th round pick this past draft, I believe. And when you include the keepers.
Correct.
And what we decided was in the off season. I mean, I had heard from you guys that you guys didn't want to, if that was still going to stand up. I personally was just like, you know what? Like, I really don't care about the pick that much. Get the pick, and then have this still be hanging over. Decided personally, like, no longer in a commissioner role. Just give it up, give it back to you guys, switch, and Fottle's my friend, my brother, and like he was still not happy about that because he felt like I was undermining like former commissioner power or something like that. Just wanted to smooth it out, let bygones be bygones, water under the bridge. and move forward. And I think we've done that. And as you can see this year, in terms of like how that trade ended up working out, like Latavius Murray today, but I still don't believe in him. And Sammy Watkins, yeah, he's in a tough situation in LA with Goff. Still got all the talent in the world. It's kind of it kind of hasn't changed. Like today, if I saw somebody trading those two guys straight up with a need for running back and a need for wide receiver on both ends, I would say that's still a fair deal.
Still a fair deal. I would be super interested to like do another poll where now like people aren't like wouldn't selfishly sort of vote against it, and see how many people genuinely don't think that that's just a super even trade, or like a trade within the realms of like evenness, where like the two people doing the trade are like, this works for me for whatever reason. It just, I really just don't understand why it was canceled. And I'd also say that, you know, I'm biased here, but I know that like Steve really did not want to play in this league if we didn't get that pick back. And I was like, man, you guys, this is the $1,000 killer. You guys want him in the league just for excitement and its entertainment purposes. So I'm glad we got something worked out.
About like trades, that was like trying to make sure that nobody else's team got better.
No, what it was that, you know, I think it was seen as being, you know, you guys getting something that you needed to like make a run, and giving up something that was like, well, at least for the rest of the season. For me, I was looking ahead already because I didn't see my team as necessarily having what it's.
I was going to ask that because I had assumed that you were trading for him in case he blew up to keep him as a forever keeper, which is actually the same reason that I did not want to trade Sammy away. Right. And Tete knows my love for Sammy Watkins is very well documented.
Yeah, no, I still love Sammy Watkins, and if he ever gets into the right situation, he's gonna be a monster. You know, if Goff ever learns how to throw a deep ball better, you know, I just think at that point with the injury, with the fracture on his toe or whatever it was, his value was probably at an all-time low. He's having a really tough season, and it was similar to the move that I made to get Gurley last year, where, you know, you see a guy, you know the talent is there. It's just that the situation is terrible. Jeff Fisher is the coach. Terrible team, terrible offensive line. But you know that if the situation changes, that player could reach their full potential. And that's what's happened with Gurley. It hasn't happened with Watkins yet. And now they happen to be on the same team, which is pretty funny too. So, guys, what I would like to know about both of you is who are your favorite fantasy football players, and this could be past or present.
I'm going to go with new school and my boy Zeke. I think Zeke was one of the first decisions that we had to make mutually, just in terms of like for the expansion draft, like who are the three keepers we're going to get. And I feel like Zeke was one guy we could agree on, and he's been everything that we thought he was going to be. Total beast. So Zeke is my guy.
That is a good answer. I mean, we were bought into Zeke for a long time coming, and that was our one real goal. I mean, myself, you know, I to be honest, I did not get into football really heavily until probably 4 years ago. So I honestly have a very short time frame of watching football. So most of my football kind of heroes are all current day players. And I'm a giant fan of Julio Jones. I mean, this is also well documented. Tete knows that I love giant athletic guys, and Julio is, I think, the alpha male of all of that.
Definitely. But
But
what did you think of that? Julio just got traded. What did you think of that deal?
that's a deal kind of like Sammy Watkins, right? I mean, they're both, Julio's not really doing anything. I don't know if I would want Demarius, I don't know if I would want Demarius as the guy to replace Julio. I mean, that's the tough thing for me. I mean, with Trevor Siemian, that's really difficult. I think I would probably much rather take Matt Ryan and Julio. What about you guys?
Yeah, I'd agree. I mean, Simeon has been better than advertised this year, but the balls haven't really been going to DT. So I would have kept Julio or got a better trade, especially off name value, which I think.
Yeah, I have to say. Yeah, I agree. Both of you. I think when you're trading a guy of Julio's caliber, he's a top 3 overall level player pretty much year in and year out. And, yeah, he's having a down season in terms of the touchdowns and pretty much overall as well. It's just not being targeted at the same level. And their offense in general is down right now.
Watching much more college football than I'm getting an echo.
What was that, Steve?
Tete watches a lot more. Is there a Steve Sarkisian theory, Tete, to this Julio Jones in action?
Falling off? Not at all. I mean, traditionally, Sark likes focusing in on one guy. So you think that. Oh, there's definitely an echo going on.
Yeah, I hear that too.
I'm not hearing the echo, though. But maybe you guys are, and I'm not. I don't know.
Okay, it's gone now. I was just saying, Sark likes focusing. What is going on?
Yeah. I don't know what's going on with the echo, Tete, but I'll put on some headphones just in case.
Okay.
I haven't been getting an echo. I've been getting just kind of you guys fading out after you start your thought.
Yeah, let me try again.
You're sounding good now, Tete.
Okay. I was just saying the Sark, like Sark, Kiffin, all these former USC guys like focusing in on one person. That's how Marquise Lee won the Biletnikoff. So you'd think that Julio gets targets and all the plays, but it's just not happening for them. I don't know.
I think it might be less just about Sarkisian himself and and maybe more about the fact that Kyle Shanahan is gone. I mean, he is one of the preeminent offensive thinkers in the league. Yeah, I got you, Steve.
Yeah, it might be. Sorry about that technical difficulties, but yeah, I mean, Julio. What about you, Rashid?
So, in terms of the Julio deal, like if I'm going to trade a player of that caliber, it has to be for guys that I know are of. There's got to be at least one guy that's in that same caliber conversation. So I want, Julio's a first rounder, perennial first rounder. I want a first rounder coming back to me. So if I'm looking for a running back upgrade, the way that Fado was, I want a first round level running back coming back in the deal. And he did not get one. And he didn't even get one somebody that's close to that. He got, I think he got Buck Allen, if I'm not mistaken. It was Buck Allen. If I'm not mistaken, I think it was Buck Allen and Demarius for Julio and Abdullah.
Yeah. I mean, basically,
yeah. And when you look at the gap between Buck Allen and Abdullah, okay, yeah, Buck Allen catches passes, but he catches passes in one of probably the worst offensive in the NFL, or right next to the Browns.
Mm-hmm.
And so he's catching like 5 catches for 14 yards, like I saw him doing today. I don't know what he finished with, but that's what he had after the quarter. not running the ball well. Actually, Alex Collins is running the ball better than him. So
I think at the end of the
I don't see much of a gap between Abdullah and Allen. Maybe a little bit because of the catching ability. And then when you look at the gap between Julio and Demaryius, it's significant. And so yeah, I see that as a win for Jerome. And I would say Jerome's wide receivers, at least by name value and possibly even by overall just value, are on the top of the league now.
Who does he have?
He has Julio, Diggs, Dez, and he has somebody else too that I like.
That's pretty badass.
That is.
Yeah. He's got a really good receiving core. Who are you guys' if you guys had to pick a least favorite player in football, past or present, who would it be? And it could be fantasy or just regular NFL.
Manning for sure.
Sorry,
Which
what was the question?
Least favorite player fantasy could be real life.
Yours is Eli Manning?
No, I said Peyton Manning. I love Eli. Shout outs to Eli. I love everything that he's done to the Pats in the last 7 years.
Oh, that's a good answer for that. What's the hate for Peyton?
I just we went to school in Ohio, and he was with the Colts, and my brother was in school in Indiana. So we always had this back and forth thing where he would be like, the Colts are so amazing and the Browns suck. And I'm not a Browns fan, but he just hit me with that. And so I just started hating Peyton because of that. And this was between 2003 and 2008, where the Colts would kill the regular season, then flop in the playoffs. So yeah, I have history with Peyton.
I got one. I honestly think that one of my most hated players is probably Jared Cook right now. I do not get how that guy still gets involved in regular football every week with the mistakes that he makes. It is so terrible to watch.
Is there a specific incident you have in mind?
It's about every other time the ball is thrown to him.
I love it. I love it.
That's pretty hilarious. Yeah, especially since Gary Barnidge is I think Gary Barnidge is managing a Wegmans somewhere right now. And that is just not appropriate given that Jared Cook is still in the NFL and making money. That's just crazy.
That's great.
So if you guys had to pick, I know you're a Patriots fan.
Don't tell the people. Don't tell the people that. This is between me and you in 2007. Hello?
Not a Patriots fan?
I'm not a Patriots fan. Please. No.
So who is your team?
I don't have a team.
Tete is a de facto Washington Redskins fan by way of Laura.
By way of marriage. That's true.
Yes.
So how do you feel about Kirk Cousins?
I'm happy when he makes my house happy every Sunday. And I hate him otherwise.
So you are definitely watching that game tomorrow night then, huh?
Yeah, for sure. And Chris Thompson, I need to make sure he doesn't do anything.
Secretly rooting against your
No,
wife's
I'm rooting for their success and his failure.
So I guess you're rooting for Rob Kelly then tomorrow night.
Oh, for sure. I think he's gonna be RB1 for them. He's gonna put up points.
I hope so.
Speaking of which, we've got a couple players.
Rob Kelly was a great pickup, guys. By the way, I wanna give you guys some props right now. I think you've definitely been this team in terms of making really good grabs and being strategic with your fab money. So you also had a great draft in terms of your late round picks. So I got to give you props there. Alvin Kamara. Selections, great pick. If you guys want to go over any of your other picks that you feel really good about, now would be the time.
Yeah, I really like I like Kamara. Kamara was all Steve, and I think he's going to be a beast. I think Ingram was a nice pick too. And yeah, Steve is like the waiver wire god. Just knows who's about to blow. I want to say, since you're giving us props, I wanted to give you props on the Green Bay guy. I did not think that he was going to be like what he is, pretty much killing it. So, yeah. Let me see.
Yeah, there's a new Aaron in town, baby. In Cheesetown.
You know, I will say, though, that I do believe that Brett Hundley is a better quarterback than he was today. And I don't think it will be. I think Aaron Jones is incredible. I think he was so awesome at UTEP, and in the draft, he was amazing. I was really sad he got drafted to Green Bay, actually, because I really liked Jamal Williams, too. But I don't think Brett Hundley is going to be, as bad as he was today.
Where they run as much as they did.
Yeah, I think they're going to air it out some more as the year goes on. But we shall see. He looked pretty terrible today, huh?
Jesus.
Yeah, he didn't even get to 100 yards. He was pretty dreadful. I'm very fortunate this week that I didn't need him to do well because the rest of my team did really well, especially my running backs. But yeah, I regret not just sticking with Winston, even though he was going to play it today, and he blew up. What do you guys think? What do you guys think, by the way, about Jameis Winston, just in general, as a quarterback?
Tete, you want to answer that?
Don't ask me that question. I don't know. I feel like all these young quarterbacks that came in with so much hype, like Winston, Mariota, even Luck, I don't feel like they're getting it done. I don't think the hype matches the production. If you look at what Wentz is doing, if you look at Goff, Dak. I'm still not a Dak believer, but we can put Dak in there. It's a mismatch. Like hype to production doesn't work for me. So yeah, Jameis needs to show me more in real life. In fantasy, stay away from him. So that's it.
Yeah, man. I mean, for me as a Winston owner, I definitely feel you on that. Steve, you want to chime in on Jameis?
Yeah, Jameis for me, so I love the draft process. I think that's probably actually the part of fantasy that I enjoy the most is just the off-season draft process. And I fell in love with Jameis Winston. I thought he was going to be so great. I saw, for me, he was a real leader. He was a winner. He was clutch. He had a good arm. And I kind of thought he was like Brett Favre in ways. And I just enjoyed watching him play and kind of there's this whole rivalry between me and my roommate Nico and my business partner Nico about who's better, Mariota and Jameis. And I was all for it. But, I mean, he is taking a little bit long. I think he's still making a lot of really bad decisions. I think this year is a little hard to read because the Tampa Bay defense has been so bad that, they really haven't been able to play offense like they want. But I still think that he has a really, really bright future. I definitely think he has a really bright future, especially with how they're building the team around him. I will say that I disagree with you, though, Tete. I think Dak Prescott is going to be the next elite guy at this point.
I don't know. He has put anyone in that situation with that offensive line, with Zeke, with Dez, with Cole Beasley, with Witten. Like, he has so many weapons. It's like, put him in Seattle. And
I don't know if you can call
is he-
Cole Beasley. Yeah, there's some Cole Beasley truth.
No, I mean not. But just like he has, like, so he has Dez for like the long ball or like possession, and then he has all these like slot type guys who are good at what they do. Like, put Dez in Seattle, and he's out of the league, which I feel like is the measure of a great quarterback, that like you can succeed anywhere, and like he's in prime position right now. So I don't really feel like we can judge him.
I mean, I would agree with you in terms of his offensive line, but only really last year. This year, the offense necessarily.
Yeah, they've not played well. So this year, for sure, he's showing me something, and I need to see more of that before I'm like, okay, Dak is the man. Like, he could do it on his own. It's not the team helping him. He's also bringing something to the table. But I'm not a believer yet.
When he was in college, I was hoping like when he came out of college, the Jets. The reason he dropped pretty like high in like the initial draft that year was because of the fact that he got in trouble at like some theme park or something like that. Like,
Yeah, he got beat up.
I think it was a concert. His draft stock dropped. But dude, when he was in college, he was a stud, man. He was like Heisman candidate. Like, he was a monster. That's why, like, for a long time, for like 2 years, I was hoping the Jets would pick him up. And then, like always, we end up winning like 5 games in a row at the end of the season, and we lose all our draft picks. So,
oh, Chris, since you're here, how do you feel about Darnold?
about who?
Sam Darnold.
I gotta look him up. Hold on.
Okay.
Oh,
I got no clue.
he's the USC quarterback.
USC quarterback.
Oh, he's probably, I don't know who you're talking about now. He's probably gonna end up going to the Giants.
I hope so.
The Jets are probably going like a 3-game winning streak later on in the season. They'll probably finish like,
They don't need to. They're way ahead of the Giants.
yeah, but yeah.
Yeah.
Unless the Giants decide also to go.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the Giants drafting a quarterback. I don't really care necessarily. I mean, I do care who it is, but I just want them to start chapter and hopefully doing a better job than who was the last guy that they got out of Florida? He wasn't the guy.
Oh yeah, who did you guys draft last year?
Oh yeah.
That was years ago, dude. That was like 5 seasons.
Yeah.
Wait, so you think the Giants should spend a first-round pick on a QB?
No, they don't need to. No. Let me clarify what I'm saying. They don't need to spend a first-round pick. It's been clearly proven over the years that you can get a decent quarterback with decent fundamentals that you can mold into a good. It doesn't have to be a first rounder. They need to address the offensive line in the first round.
Yep. I think
No
that's
question about it.
I think Eli
They need to
league average.
I want them. I like the top like Pac-10 or a big not Pac-10, Big Ten or that'll be perfect.
I will say though, Rashid, you would hope that the Giants could draft a later round, at least day 2 or day 3 quarterback. But I mean, for a team that has drafted David Webb last year and Geno Smith and had Nassib forever, I mean, you can't have too much faith in their quarterback scouting team in their front office, can you?
That is true.
No, I don't. Yeah, you're right. Jerry Reese's like sweet spot with the picks has been guys, specialty players, so especially receivers. I'll count Ingram in there, even though he plays tight end, and defensive backs.
Sure, landing
corners. Safeties and corners. And Eli Apple, I think, is a solid player. He's not an all-pro every year guy, but he's improvement this year.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think Brandon Marshall was like, yo, this team is not so great, I'm not going to come back?
I think Brandon Marshall just might be done.
He may be.
You know,
He
I don't know.
He didn't look good this year.
I don't know if he wants to go out like that. So this might be a Steve Smith type situation where he wants to come back for one more year and go out on a good note. But I didn't show much this year. Either towards the end.
Look at this fog over here. What's next, buddy?
I want to know what your is about being in We Still Here.
We Still Here. I like the back and forth. I like the camaraderie. I wish Steve took part in it more.
No, you know, it is a really competitive league. I enjoy it a lot. I mean, for me, it's that, you know, Tete and I stay really close through it. You know, we talk regularly, and that's really great. And honestly, you know, we talk about the rivalries and all the trades and the vetoes and it water under the bridge, but you know that does add a whole new level of fuels that competition. And it was like Tete is saying, you know, some weeks before playing one of you guys that we can get pretty into it. So it's a lot of fun.
Yep.
And I thought, honestly, I thought you were gonna say something completely different, Steve. I thought you were gonna say the wonderful level of scoring that can happen from a defense, given that you just had 50 points from Baltimore's defense last week against me.
Baltimore.
That was the greatest.
And that was the difference, because I lost by about 50 points. And
I mean, the rest of our team did nothing, if I remember correctly. We
had like 150 points total.
Yeah, it was nothing on my side, nothing on your side, but you happen to have Baltimore Ravens, and you did pick them up off the waiver wire again. You know, and I can thank Lorenzo for that loss. So I'm paying him back this week by laying the smackdown, because he did drop.
Oh,
it should not have been dropped.
That is not the time to drop the matchup to be dropped in Baltimore. Lorenzo is a wild card with the fantasy though, so yeah, I like it. You know, I like his commitments.
He creates a lot of opportunities for other teams to make headway. What can we say?
I love it.
And Tete, your favorite thing about We Still Here?
My favorite, I think I said it already.
Oh, I'm sorry. Or your least favorite thing? I'm sorry.
Least favorite thing. What's my least favorite thing? Well, I mean we've touched on it already. Just let's have adult trading, please. Let's be responsible for ourselves and not watch other people's pockets. Come on. Yeah, that's it. I think I know the history, as you said. There was something with your dad and all this stuff, but I feel like we've got savvy, engaged players now. We really don't need to be voting on each other's trades unless something crazy happens. So that's probably
we can put it out there right now that we will all be in the off season making formal requests to commissioner or commissioners to put in writing that a trade will not be tollable unless some sort of under the table conspiracy or collusion is at for it to be at play.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Steve, what's your least favorite thing?
Gotta go with that. That's an easy one right there. Let the trades live.
Let the trades live.
Let the trades live.
I gotta say, I'm surprised. This is now the, I guess the fourth episode, third interview. Up yet the fact that that we start two tight ends, which like a lot of like I do listen to a lot of fantasy podcasts, and I also, you know, I'll like send emails to people and to try to get advice and things like that about whether it's drafting or whatever it might be. And whenever I bring up the fact that I'm in a 2 tight end league, they're like, "What?" It's like, yeah, we're in a 2 tight end league, and a lot of people don't know this, but I'll give you guys a nugget in terms of the history. Is like I set up the league initially, and when I set up the league, I really wanted it to be the scoring to be as much like to involve as much of the game as possible, and to reflect like how football really is. And in football, like tight ends get hurt a lot, and tight ends also you always have 2 of them on your team, even if you don't put them both on the field at the same time. You have a blocking tight end and you have a pass catching tight end, or maybe both of them.
I absolutely love that it's a 2 tight end league.
Yeah, me too. It forces you to be creative and like figure stuff out. Can I swear here? It just it just forces you to like think and, you know, think ahead and just be like, all right, how am I going to get 2 productive tight ends, whether it's drafting, whether it's trading, whatever it is. So I think it's like this hurdle that makes the league interesting.
And that brings me to my next question. How did you guys get the nickname the Tight End Boys?
You guys gave it to us last year.
Why?
We had Travis Kelce and the racist guy. I forget his name now.
Tyler Eifert. They're probably both racist, in all honesty.
I love that.
We had a really hard time with the white tight end thing.
Yeah, last year, all locked in. We had to wait for Eifert for like 6 weeks, but then when he came on, he was just killing it. And
I think if I remember correctly, Fadl had your phone ringing off the hook for Eifert.
Trying to get Eifert, yep.
Especially while he was laid up in his hospital bed. Like, who is this Fadl guy calling me, trying to get me to tell Tete and Steve to trade me to his team? Yeah. So you guys went after it at the tight end position, and I've gone after and gotten Kelce this year too, and I think it's a winning strategy to at least get one.
It's a differential for sure.
Yeah, it's
in this league, it's for sure a differential. It's like the key spot, basically. Not to give you guys nuggets, but like definitely target tight end at the beginning of the season. Yeah,
and I will even this early on, I'm already thinking about him as a potential keeper, even though I've got other guys that are really difficult to drop off, but it is a difference maker for sure.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that's another interesting thing, because I'm not sure if the tight ends are keepers. I'm not sure. Maybe Kelce, maybe Gronk.
I give it to Gronk and Kelce, and I might. No, yeah, I think Gronk and Kelce in this league, I probably would keep. I mean, we didn't keep Kelce.
Yeah, I mean they're super valuable, but I don't know if they just get to that sort of. So the keepers of the first 3 rounds, first 4 rounds, first 3 rounds. Yeah, I don't know if any of the tight ends are like worth a top 3 pick. But like that's the challenge of like figuring out when and where you're gonna get them.
Yeah, and I feel like the era there was a golden era. You guys remember when Jimmy Graham was on the Saints?
Oh yeah.
Antonio Gates was still.
Oh yeah.
Was still Antonio Gates, and Tony Gonzalez was still, had some years in the tank. And there was a time when all of those guys were, and Gronk, were maybe not all at the same time, within a 3-year period, were like elite players. And even Thomas, when he was with the Broncos.
That one season, was it 1 season or 2 seasons?
There were 2 seasons where he scored like 30 touchdowns or something in 2 years with Peyton Manning.
Yep.
So that era where like a tight end can be like the focal point of an offense is kind of gone, I think, or at least it's very rare.
You know, I mean, I think that we might be a few years out from it. I mean, there were a lot of people saying that the tight ends that got drafted this year were maybe the best tight end class of all time. And I think I guess we'll see how that goes. But I mean, there were incredible rookies in this year's draft. I mean, you're seeing Ingram. I mean, he's gonna set records if he.
Right.
What
And
did you guys think about OJ Howard's game today?
OJ Howard's game today. I mean,
yeah, if Njoku gets a quarterback, he's gonna be great.
Oh, I hope so, man.
Shaheen, the small college guy, people love him, and the Bears took him in the second.
What's his name?
Adam Shaheen. Jake Butt went to Denver, went late just because he got injured, and there's a ton.
Oh yeah.
And while I have you guys, I know you guys are like very much on the reception perception tip. What do you guys? You don't have to give me like your juicy, like secret details, but what do you guys think of Corey Davis? I'm just asking personally because he's on my team.
Well, that's the Titans guy, right? The number 5 pick.
He is the Titans wide receiver,
Yeah.
big time prospect receiver, and he's coming back probably off the bye in week 9.
So as Steve said, he just loves big physical receivers. So we definitely had arguments over him. I don't know. Personally, I feel like his level of competition, in college, I didn't feel like I saw it on tape or anything. So I'm kind of skeptical. Also, Mariota is not playing well in terms of throwing the ball. So I don't know if he blows. I'm skeptical, pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, I think the skepticism makes sense. I think that, he has the draft capital, so the team is going to see. I mean, the offense has no clear wide receiver 1. So I think the opportunity's there. I mean, I think for you this year, Delaney Walker, he just got hurt. He's on crutches. I mean, I think Corey Davis is going to be coming back into a really, really good position. I believe it. I think he's going to ball. I don't know about this year, though. How did he do in reception perception? I don't remember, actually. And I know Matt Harmon sold reception perception to the fantasy footballers and whatnot, and I don't really listen to them. What was the word on him?
Yeah, they're split on him. Mike Wright is the high guy.
But what did Matt Harmon say about him?
Oh, he loves him.
Loves him. That makes sense.
I don't know if you guys know about Chris Harris. You guys know Chris
I
Harris?
do.
ESPN.
Ex-ESPN.
Ex-ESPN, yeah. And he has his own podcast now, and he watches – his whole thing is like he watches film to judge talent rather than looking at box score numbers. And he was one of the guys that Davis was one of his flag, what he calls like a flag player that he highlights. So, yeah, I made sure to get him everywhere. And, yeah, I'm happy that we have 2 IR spots. We still here. Because DJ went down, and then I had to put Corey Davis on for most of the season so far. So,
here's my question: do we think Josh Gordon is coming back?
Yes. I'm picking him up at the end of the season.
He's been picked up and dropped. He's been picked up and dropped multiple times already.
I think that kid comes back with like a vengeance, man. I think he's still really young. He's only like 24, 25. He hasn't played football for like, what, 2 seasons?
He's not 24, 25 anymore, Chris. He doesn't stay 24, 25 since 2014, 2015. He's like 28 now.
No, he's not. Josh Gordon came in and only played like
All
1
right, bro.
season, 2 seasons.
Look it up. You're my researcher on the side here. Josh Gordon ain't no 24, 25. I don't believe that.
Are we talking Josh? Well, I'm talking
Josh Gordon is 26 years old.
Okay.
26.
you.
Okay,
Close enough.
right in the middle. So
I know he's still young.
so
but
he'll be 27 by the time
Yeah,
he's
but-
reinstated.
at most receivers at that age already banged up. He hasn't played for like 2 seasons. You know, his body's like fully rested.
He's still
Does
jacked.
does he still know how to take a hit though? And all of
Sure.
that.
He played his whole entire life.
In the NFL, probably not.
Dude, he'll come back. He's not going to be like Julio Jones, but I think he's a receiver on the Browns.
They said the same thing about Martavis Bryant. They've got about the same apex in terms of like their potential, and they both just can't stop smoking weed, man.
It's probably
Dude, they should just make it. That's what you should ask on the podcast. Whether or not if NFL players should be allowed to smoke weed during the season.
I heard a rumor. I think Chris might have told me this that there was actually some legit talks on the table by the NFL Players Association behind the scenes to like allow them to smoke weed.
They should get it.
Yeah.
They should get it for sure.
Given what they go through, I think that is so appropriate and should happen.
Bill.
Guys, are you watching the game right now?
Sorry, yeah, I got really caught into that one. That was Sanu running that.
I think it's a touchdown.
I don't think it's a touchdown. It better be a touchdown.
I think it's at like the 1 inch line if it's not a touchdown though.
It's amazing. Run it in.
I hope Fido's watching this shit right now.
Yeah. So are the Falcons about to pull a Patriots on the Patriots right now?
15 minutes left. I'm going to say no.
It's possible, but I mean, this Pats defense playing lights out, except for now, I guess.
I'm not going to rule it out, given how crazy and wacky the season's been. I mean, it's just 3 touchdowns, and they're right on the goal line right now. So they just need 2 more after this.
In 15 minutes, I got to stop them twice. That's nothing.
Yeah, come on.
Against the Pats.
Yeah, the Pats.
They just need a turnover.
Yeah.
Just need a turnover.
Julio gets his first touchdown tonight.
Julio's going to get the touchdown.
That's the call?
Yeah.
They're running this in right now with Freeman. I'm calling that right now.
I think so too. I'm gonna have to agree with that one.
That's gonna benefit you guys in your matchup.
Oh yeah, I think our matchup's basically as good as done. I mean, I guess if Matt Ryan really does air it out right now, but
yeah, if they play like a cloud for the rest of the game and he racks up a bunch of yards and gets some touchdowns, maybe. What do you guys think about the league this year, and who do you consider like your number one threats as far as trying to win?
So I was telling Rashid this earlier. I think the top 2. I don't know if he's gonna make it in, but I think Chris has the best team in the league, just with being able to roll out Fournette and McCaffrey every week, and I think McCaffrey is just gonna get better. I did not see those 2 taking off like they did, but they have. So if Chris can make the playoffs, I think he's gonna beast. I like your team, Rashid.
Your team's legit, Rashid.
Chris is giving that a thumbs up, by the way.
Yeah, Chris, make it happen. I mean, don't make it happen. Yeah, Rashid, I like your team. I think your team is also really stacked. And I also like Chris's brother's team. I think those are probably my top 3.
Once upon a time, Sean's team was good, but that's behind us now.
His injuries kind of wrecked him.
Yeah, he's done.
I'm done though. He's very resourceful. Don't count him out. Are you guys counting Sassy with her rough start?
I don't feel like I see it in her team so far. I mean, I know that she's a baller. I know that she always makes it happen, so she could pull anything out. But
you did get Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, that's another quarterback that I'm in like wait and see mode with.
So the Patriots just the Falcons just tried to fulfill some natty dreams of pulling off an upset, and they failed. So I think they're going to go for it on 4th down inside the 1. And they better run the ball this time, because that would have been effective on 3rd down and goal right there.
Don't run the ball. Don't fucking run the ball.
Who was that corner?
You're not going to run it to Freeman, man.
Butler.
Freeman is a great goal line back. I don't know why. And look
Oh
at
my
this
God,
empty
they're going
backfield.
3 wide.
You're going wide.
They're going wide.
It's ridiculous. That Freeman should be so pissed.
Oh,
No way.
Oh, oof.
Is that Coleman?
All right, I take it back, guys. This is going to be a shutout. This is going to be the 4th shutout of the week.
Yeah, today's a crazy day of football, huh?
Yep. My Jacksonville defense, baby. Jacksonville's defense.
They're looking good.
I will weigh in here on the who's like looking the best. I think Charles's team. You guys don't know this because you weren't in the league yet, but Charles did finish. He did come in third one year, and it was a similar year. It was the year before last when Cam went nuts, and he still has Cam. He loves Cam, and he's over reliant on Cam. That's what I'll say. If Cam doesn't have a blow up week, he's cooked. I don't think if he's in a matchup against a formidable opponent, and that will be the case in the playoffs. And I just don't think you can rely on Cam to have that type of game, especially towards the end of the season. You know, Cam is running more again now, putting himself in more vulnerable situations, and who knows, he could get hurt again or just be beat up by the end of the year. And we see that he's just so up and down. He's just so hard to predict. This week, you know, going up against Chicago, I know they have an underrated. Maybe their defense is flying under the radar a little bit, but he didn't even get a touchdown for the team this week against the Bears. Come on.
It's that Vic Fangio life, baby.
yeah. I feel like do we think the Bears make the playoffs?
God, no, Trubisky is terrible.
I don't think the Bears make the playoffs. But I think they stay in the conversation until probably at least week 13 or 14. Yeah. You know, their plan is John Fox's plan is to keep his job, and wouldn't we all want to keep our jobs? An NFL head coach, run the ball and play defense games, and you can keep your job. And you can keep.
I gotta think that John Fox is on my bottom 5 coaches in the league.
Oh yeah, I like John Fox as a Giants fan because he was a coordinator, but as a head coach, hell no.
Yeah, it's brutal. It's very brutal. That was a really bad play call.
I don't understand. You know, why you don't hand the ball to Freeman there. He's a great goal line back. He's got 5 touchdowns this year for a reason.
Especially if you're going to go 2 downs. Come on.
Give him to twice. Yeah, just
total disrespect. He's all pro the last 2 years. It's total disrespect. Moving on, I just wanted to weigh in and say that this is definitely the most parity I think we've had in the league this year. It's really going to be tough to say like who's going to win. It's kind of like the real NFL this year. I feel like there's really no front runner at all.
Mm-hmm.
But I like your guys' team. Your depth, especially at running back, is really impressive in a league of our size. And then I also like Jerome's team, especially with the trade for Julio. Like I said, we're in the league by far, I think now. And he's paying attention. So
yeah,
he's gonna have a shot. I also like Chris's team a lot. I'm agree with you on that. I think a lot of it comes down to just whether or not his wide receiver core can step up, and Baldwin did today. Devontae Adams.
Chris, make some trades. Get some wide receivers.
Yeah, he might need to make a move.
Yeah, T, if you want to make a trade for a decent wide receiver, let me know, guys.
Yeah, I was pushing Chris hard for a trade to try to get Baldwin, actually, even as late as today before kickoffs, and I think that window may have closed on me. But and then also I will just throw in there. I have to say I don't ever count Cheryl out because she's a 2-time champ for a reason. And she's very resourceful, both on makes trades that you maybe right away, and then 2 weeks later, like, oh, that's what she was doing, and she's got a 250-point week.
She is definitely very on top of it. I'm gonna have to agree with that.
Yeah.
It's okay
What's
though.
up
You
on
guys
you?
have not. You guys are just getting introduced to the dawn of August right now, so
Yeah.
we're coming. We're coming.
I think it's going to be a great, great rest of season, great end of the season. Did you guys have any you wanted to talk about before we shut this down?
I just wanted to say we've got Devontae Parker. He is hot. Get him whilst he's still hot. That's it.
Oh, Chris, did you hear that? Devontae Parker. Better, apparently, according to Ted today.
Yeah, it's a.
They made the quarterback switch. It's Matt Moore, throwing spirals out there. Get him on.
They look great.
Hot.
They look great.
Chris has Landry too.
Just lock yourself into the Dolphins offense. Why wouldn't you?
Yeah,
Gaze
why wouldn't
for life? Gaze for
Exactly.
life.
No, man. Guys, this has been great. Looking forward to the rest of the season, and just like pretty sure that we'll have a rematch in the playoffs this year. This has been a lot of fun. And
Yo, you guys benched Kenny Stills after I dropped him, and I had him. I never played him. I knew he's gonna have a blow.
Chris is trying to get his smack talk in before this is over. He said, "Why did you bench Kenny Stills?"
Chris, if you want to trade, we'll give you Devontae Parker and Kenny Stills.
Nah, that's okay. That's why. I was watching the game today, and I was just like, man, I should have kept him. But then I was like, I would have never started him anyway. But
I have a feeling
guys like Kenny still blow up like 1 or 2 games throughout the season. Just gotta catch him.
I have a feeling a running back from the down south might be somebody that they're looking for from you that has
I'm always up for like
two consecutive consonants in their name.
This is great. I'm really glad you guys are doing this podcast. Though. It's fun.
Yeah, sure, man. Appreciation to you, Rashid, for doing this podcast. It's amazing. I listen every week.
Yeah, this is a lot of fun. I enjoy it. I think we get to know, the better. A lot of us in the league, we're kind of all over the place, all over the globe, and so we don't get to necessarily meet in person. We got a New York City contingent, but there's people in the Middle East, there's people in Detroit, there's people
we should try to meet
all
up,
over.
though. You don't have to like lunch on Sunday.
Be awesome. Like we could definitely do another New York City in-season meetup. That'd be really cool. Chris is down to, sounds like, host it maybe here in the LES.
That'd be fun.
We could go out. Yeah, that'd be fun. But yeah, guys, thanks for coming on. I really appreciate it. I know we had technical difficulties the other night as I was scooping up kitty poop. But we made it happen. We had you guys on, and I'm looking forward to a lot of progresses.
Absolutely, man. We'll see you. We'll see you in the playoffs.
Yep.
I'm gonna go post this. Enjoy the rest of this SmackDown.
All right, see you, buddy.
All right, cheers, guys.
The music, the locks, baby. He's still here.